Better Money Management 10 Ways. Everyone has their own money management style. Some people just throw money at problems as they arise and spend frivolously buying whatever they want, and that is fine if you can afford to do so. While others are more frugal and plan their purchases to make every dollar go as far as possible. Financial habits and preferences develop over time based on life experiences. What your parents taught you about money, what you observe them do with their money, and what you've learned from others about money. You can improve your money management skills and become a better saver, which will certainly enhance your quality of life. There are, however, many expenses and commitments that we have no control over. But if you learn to manage the things you have control over, you will likely be more successful at managing your money. Unless you have an unlimited budget, which few of us do, you should be monitoring your expenditures. For example, how much you spend each month on leisure activities, things such as going out to dinner, going to the movies, and clothes shopping, to name a few. Hello and welcome back to another video on our channel, Finance Sense, covering all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. In this video, we'll take a look at 10 ways to manage your money more effectively. But before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated with our videos. Without further ado, let's head on to the video. To start, create a monthly budget. Essentially, a budget shows you exactly how much money is coming in and going out. Take 2 pages of paper, or even better, a notebook, and divide them in half. You should have your salary and any additional sources of income on the left. The challenging aspect is planning for the money you expect to spend, which you should do at the beginning of the month. Expenses for living and household expenses should be included, such as how much you expect to spend on food and other necessities. Additionally, expenditures for your car or taking public transportation when commuting, leisure activities, dining out, entertainment, sports, vacations, and other expenses must be included, as they are easy to overlook if left untracked. Moreover, you must also include recurring payments such as insurance, subscriptions, or debt repayments. Set a goal for saving in a small but regular contribution to an emergency fund when it comes to spending. The sum of the left and right sides should be the same. You'll need to identify areas where your spending can be reduced if they exceed your income. If you're fortunate enough to have more income than expenses, you can either improve your savings goal or justify a small indulgence by increasing the expense of things like luxury items, meals, and shopping. However, after you've created your budget, it's vital that you don't store it in a drawer and let it collect dust. Use it to guide your spending choices throughout the month and make an effort to avoid going over budget. After your initial attempt, you'll become more pragmatic with your expenses. Budgeting should start to flow effortlessly if you put some effort into it. Second, review your budget before making any large expenses. Basic living expenditures will require a significant portion of the money in the bank, which obviously should be included in your budget. See whether you can justify the cost in the appropriate category according to your budget. If your budget allows you to purchase the expensive gadget you want, go ahead. But if it doesn't, your budget will be out of balance if you have to pay for it at the end of the month. So what do you need to do? The solution is to put money aside for it and factor that sum into your monthly budget. Calculate how much you can save each month and how long it will take you to save. Third, track additional smaller expenses. We tend to make little purchases here and there, and if we don't keep track of them, they might land us in debt when our next paycheck arrives. We frequently overlook expenses like a few meals out and a gift for a friend's birthday, but they do pile up. When individuals complain that they don't know where their money goes, it's generally on a variety of small to medium-sized expenditures they overlook entirely. If you have trouble doing this, consider keeping a notebook where you record every dollar you spend. Any small purchase you make will be included in some part of your budget if you keep one. If you keep track of everything, you will soon be able to determine where your money is going and how you can spend less on items you don't need. Fourth, control your debts or get rid of them. The first step in managing your debts is to get them under control. First, refrain from taking on new debts, especially unpaid credit card balances, because they have extremely high interest rates, or don't use a credit card at all if you have difficulties paying them off. Second, make sure you plan and pay your debts on time. Make the required minimum payments, but it is ideal if you pay more because the longer it takes you to pay off the debt, the more interest you will have to pay. If you have several debts, record the interest rates for each debt and focus on paying off the ones with the highest rates first. Fifth, track your monthly payments and set a limit. You could be paying for subscriptions you don't actually need or won't use very often. It can be an inactive gym membership or a subscription to a streaming service. Keep in mind that more and more companies are adopting subscription-based business models. This is because they know that if they just charge a small amount each month, many individuals would sign up and pay without giving it a second thought. However, small amounts may build up over time and can significantly reduce your monthly income. Try to limit the number of things you have, but keep it if it's truly necessary or beneficial. 6. Set an emergency fund. Set money aside in case anything unexpected happens. Your need for it might arise at any time. If you don't have an emergency fund, you'll have to use other funds to cover these costs, like unforeseen repairs to your house or car, or unexpected medical bills you aren't insured for. However, you'll be okay if you have some money saved up. If it's in your budget, you could set aside a small amount of cash each month and only use it in a real emergency. When possible, attempt to justify unforeseen costs in another area of your budget when they arise. 7th, keep a separate savings account for your monthly savings goal. You won't be able to increase your wealth by keeping money in the bank. Bank account interest rates are almost zero, so it's ideal to get your money to work for you. You ought to set a monthly savings target and track it in your budget. You'll discover that establishing a savings goal will really encourage you to do so. That's because the idea of having that money for investments at the end of the month and the long-term wealth they'll bring you will be even more alluring than pointless transactions. So keep them in a savings account that is separate from your regular bank account until you decide what kind of investment to put them into. Although savings account interest rates are somewhat better than those of bank accounts, they are still low. The advantage of doing this is that you'll be less inclined to waste your money, and they'll eventually move toward their intended purpose of long-term investing. 8th, use websites and apps for price comparison. We've previously established that you need to reduce your smaller expenses, which frequently mount up without your knowledge. Shopping around for the greatest price is a fantastic method to accomplish this. And you can do this with the aid of several price monitoring websites and applications. You can use several websites for food shopping, including Amazon's Camel, Google Shopping, and Shopping.com. Just bear in mind that they will vary slightly based on the country you are in. 9th, make use of personal finance apps. Making a budget from scratch may seem complicated, or you might not have the confidence in your ability to keep it organized or keep track of every purchase you make. There are apps that makes things much easier, so there's no need to give up. The top picks for the task are personal financial applications like the free versions of Mint and MoneyStrands. They will track your spending patterns and show all of your account balances and transactions so you can identify where you've been exceeding your budget. They'll also maintain tabs on your financial portfolio and remind you of future payments. 10th, continue to develop your financial management skills. Handling your finances might make you feel like a beginner, but keep in mind that every expert in financial management started out as a beginner. So why not invest in some personal finance classes? You can discover online personal finance courses that are either free or reasonably priced and that provide clear guidelines on how to spend less and save more and how to better manage your finances and invest your money. Build up your financial discipline gradually, and it will come naturally. Keep in mind that you are not alone in your situation. You must push yourself to complete every step in your budget. You might find it challenging at first, but if you persevere, it will eventually become part of your routine. You'll notice that you have fewer headaches associated with money relatively quickly, and you'll also see that you have more money at the end of the month. Before you know it, you'll feel inspired to follow the steps and won't even need to force yourself to do them. It sounds like we've reached the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe and comment down below your money management steps. This is Finance Sense, helping you keep up with all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. See you around. See you next time.